Hello everyone, welcome to PassionWaterTarot. My name is Mama Do, and today is Missing Person Criminal Case Monday. So, everything that you want to know about generalized readings, you'll find in the description box below. There's information about the missing case readings, the missing person readings, and that I do not, under any circumstance, accept payment or request payment for these types of readings, okay? Not under any circumstance. So, thank you all for being here. Thank you for subscribing, supporting me in this channel, sharing your energy with Spirit and myself. Thank you for helping get the information out about these missing person and these criminal cases, as we're asking Spirit to guide us about the information and what can bring comfort, what can bring a solution to this situation. So if you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, please do so. Go right there and hit that subscribe button. Then please go and hit the all button so that you receive notifications when future readings are uploaded and available. Yeah, this is a new deck. This is affirmation cards. And I'm going to start drawing or receiving an affirmation from Spirit for everyone during the readings, okay? So let's go ahead and ask Holy Spirit, Spirit Guide, angels, and ancestors to come into this reading with love and light, to provide the highest level of clarity to those receiving messages, and ask that chakras be open to allow those messages to be received with ease. Now, for the third case this Monday, to take a look at, to ask Spirit about, to see if Spirit can give us guidance to a solution regarding this event. This is the Fort Worth missing trio. These three young ladies, well, two young ladies and one child. And I say young ladies. These were teenagers, two teenage girls and a young girl. Decided to go to the mall, Seminary South Shopping Center in Fort Worth, Texas, on December 23rd, 1974. This case has always touched me. I was raised in Dallas, okay? And just in the suburbs around Dallas. This happened literally next door, in the next town over. And I was 9 years old when it happened. And I remember it. I remember it being on the TV. So the three girls was Mary Rachel Trleca, Lisa Renee Wilson, and Julie Ann Moseley. They were going Christmas shopping. They were driving a 72 Oldsmobile 98, which was later discovered left behind in the Sears parking lot at the mall. And the girls have not been seen since. Okay, now they've been missing for 46 years now, with the car left behind. It wasn't that they took off in the car was left at the shopping mall. So let's talk about the girls. Mary Rachel Treleca. Maiden name was Arnold because she was married. 17 years old at the time of her disappearance. She was known to go by her middle name, Rachel. She's a white female, 5'6", 108 pounds, long brown hair, green eyes, and had a chipped upper front tooth and a small scar on her chin. She was still in high school, but she was married. It was her car that they were in. She had only been married about 6 months at the time that she went missing to her husband, Tommy Trleca, and she did wear a wedding ring. The next girl was Lisa Renee Wilson. She was 14 years old at the time of the disappearance, and she went by her middle name, Renee. She was fair-skinned, Caucasian female, 5'2", 110 pounds, light wavy brown hair, brown eyes, and a scar on the inside of one of her thighs. They actually list the clothing she was wearing when she disappeared, which included a bluish-purple hip-hugger pants, which was norm for those days, a white pullover sweatshirt saying "Sweet Honesty." I think we all owned one. It was in green letters. Some have reported it was a pale yellow t-shirt with green letters. Red and white Oxford shoes and a promise ring with a single clear stone. The third girl, 9 years old, Julie Ann Moseley. 9 years old, yes. A 17-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 9-year-old. The 9-year-old's Caucasian female, 4'3", 85 pounds, shoulder length, sandy blonde hair, and blue eyes. Small scar under her left eye, and a scar in the middle of her forehead, and a scar on the back of her calf. She was known to be wearing a red shirt with dark pants, like blue jeans, okay, and red tennis shoes. So what happened? Well, Rachel Trleca and Renee initially did not want to take Julie with them. They were reluctant. Probably because she's 9 years old. And you're talking about 17 and 14-year-old girls. They took her anyway. All because Julie did not want to spend the day alone. And so Julie ran outside, got permission from her mom, and they were off. They said they would be home by 6. Even though the mother was reluctant to give them permission for Julie to go with them. Julie didn't have no money, but Julie kept insisting, so off they go. She really wanted Julie back by 4. Actually, excuse me. Renee wanted to be back by 4 because of the Christmas party she wanted to attend with her new boyfriend, the one who had given her the promise ring that morning. They first went to a surplus store in Fort Worth to pick up some layaway items that Renee had waiting. And from there, they went on to Seminary South Shopping Center. Several witnesses reported seeing the girls in the mall that day. But when the girls didn't return home, the families became concerned and went up to the mall. And the car was found. And the police were called. Now, what happened when the police were called? Well, they didn't take it too seriously. That's what happened. Par for the course back then. They said, oh, they're runaways. So they didn't take it real seriously, but the families were, because it was very out of character for all three of these girls. But the next day, the very next day, and I don't care what post office you're talking about, nobody's mail runs that fast. Not only do they not run that fast, they especially don't run that fast at Christmas time. But the husband of Rachel received a letter in the mail, handwritten by her, supposedly. The next day it says, I know I'm going to catch it, but we had to get away. We're going to Houston. See you in about a week. The car is in the Sears upper lot. Love, Rachel. But the addressed envelope was written in pencil. The letter itself was written in ink on a sheet of paper that was wider than the envelope, and it was addressed to Thomas A. Trleca instead of the less formal Tommy, as Rachel called him. Rachel was written in the upper left corner of the envelope, but it appeared to be initially misspelled, as the L in her name was written as a lowercase e, but then it had been gone over again to form the correct L. The postmark did not contain a city, only a blurred zip code that appeared to be 76083. And the number 3 appeared to either be backwards, as though it was applied by hand-loaded stamp, or a partial number 8. It's assumed that the zip code was meant to be either 76038, which comes to Eliasville, or 76088, which comes to Weatherford, which is right outside of Fort Worth, okay? Now, there has been a lot of speculation about this letter over the decades. Handwriting experts across the nation have looked at it, including the Federal Bureau of Investigations, the FBI. They cannot yield inclusive results from analyzing the letter. But the families of the girls are like, no, I don't believe it was written by Rachel, nor that the girls have run away. Especially the 9-year-old's parents. They're like, no, it's 2 days before Christmas. She has no money. She has nowhere to go. And it's 2 days before she opens all of her presents. And she's just a 9-year-old little girl. No 9-year-old runs away 2 days before Christmas. There's a lot of people that think they left with someone they know, that they knew. Julie's mom says until the day she dies, she believes the girls were taken by a stranger, abducted by a stranger. Now, what else can I tell you? I mean, it's full of frustration. It's full of, there's been searches, there's been volunteers, they've looked all over the place trying to find any trace of the girls, but no trace of the girls has ever been found. And what else can I tell you? There was a store clerk came forward about the time the girls disappeared and said that a woman told her that she had seen the girls at the mall that day. And the woman reported that she saw 3 girls being forced into a yellow pickup truck near Buddy's grocery store at the mall. The truck was described to have lights on top of it. The witness, however, could never be located by police, and the story was never verified. In 1981, years after the disappearance, because this happened in 74, a man said he had been in the parking lot that day and had seen a man forcing a girl into a van. The man in the van told him it was a family dispute and to stay out of it. In 2001, April 2001, Bill Hutchins, a former Fort Worth policeman and security guard at the Seminary South Sears outlet, said he saw the three girls with a security guard on the night they disappeared. So they were very visible. The problem is, they were very visible until they weren't. Until somebody silenced them. So let's add spirit. By the way, I have a new deck. This is the first reading I've done with this deck. It's called Celestial Tarot Cards. So let's see what Spirit has to say about the Fort Worth missing trio. Spirit, what can you give us? What can you guide us? What messages would you like for us to receive regarding these three ladies, these three young people that went missing December 23rd, 1974. Thank you for all messages forthcoming. What say ye? What happened to these young ladies that day? Can you walk us through their day, Spirit? The moon. Let me move this camera just a bit. There we go. The moon. Bringing forth confusion. Wanting to make things appear to be one way when they're really another. Wanting to cloud the memories, the interpretation. A very fast getaway, very rapid. The Five of Pentacles. Isolating, separating from comfort zones. What else can you tell us, Spirit? About the day that these three disappeared from Seminary South Mall. Who did this? Is there a predator lurking? Was there a predator lurking? Spirit, was this somebody that the girls knew? Or that some of the girls knew? Four of Cups, somebody who felt jilted, somebody that felt lacking of the tension. Ooh, somebody jealous, somebody very jealous. Tell us about this person that harmed these three people that went missing. See that clarifiers. Spirit, can you give us any more information about this person that took the girls? We have the King of Wands here. Oh, they thought it was a good idea. They thought this would bring them the attention that they were craving, that they felt that they were due. Very well could be an Aries, a Leo, or Sagittarius. Somebody with fire strong in their chart. Wow, they wanted to overpower the girls. They wanted total control. They were out of control and wanted total control. And this was the path that they chose to get their way. They had choices. They had options. This was not this person's only choice. And this card came out over here. The moon is in reverse. Things done in the dark will come to the light. The secrets of yesterday are today's truth. The girls were taken away from the mall and held. They tried to defend one another as they were attacked individually. What else can you tell us, Spirit, about the day that these people went missing? The Fort Worth trio. Was this person in a pickup? They really thought they were above it. They didn't feel that they had any reason to worry. King of Cups in reverse. They no longer had a dog in the race. Ace of Pentacles. Really? Really, Spirit? I wasn't expecting that. It has to do with one of those rings. This is a person who was very jealous of one of the two older girls. The fact that one of them was attached to somebody, the fact that one of them was married, they weren't receiving the attention and the love that they wanted brought to them. I'm never going to understand this way of thinking. And I'm just going to say it out loud. If you have this maddening crush on somebody and it's unrequited, they don't feel the same way about you, at what point do you really think grabbing them, holding them hostage, and harming them is going to change that? Do you really think? I know, the only one that could answer that for me is somebody who's in a predatory mindset. Because if you're placing fear in me, if I'm your person of interest, and you're placing fear in me, the last thing I'm going to do whenever you pull this stunt is fall in love with you. You're not my end-all, be-all. Now we're going to fight to the death. And this is all over unrequited love. Somebody who wasn't getting the attention that they wanted. The Hermit in reverse. So this person thought about this. And this was their enlightenment. Damn. That's not an enlightenment. To kidnap the girls. To cause harm to them. So if you can't have them, nobody can have them. Death in reverse. Not letting go of the past. Dwelling in it. Dwelling in what you've done. Dwelling in what occurred. How were the girls harmed, Spirit? What happened to the girls? Can you reveal that to us? I have 3 cards. Rachel is the first one. Rachel was the last to Rachel saw the other 2 die. Renee. 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Smothered. Suffocated. Very intensely. This person had bindings. Renee was bound. And Julie, the Seven of Cups in reverse. Julie was beaten. She cried. She was scared. She was so confused. So why this would be happening. She thought at any moment this person would release them and let them go home. What else can you tell us, Spirit? What else can you reveal to us regarding the missing Fort Worth trio? The Emperor, the one who wanted to be in charge, the one who wanted to be seen as the boss, as the leader of the game. That, hey, I said this is what's going to happen and I mean it. The Ace of Swords in reverse. Not seeing, not thinking clearly. This person was so consumed with jealousy as to why one of these young ladies was not giving them the attention they thought they so rightfully deserved. They could not, at that point, come out of that mindset. Six of Cups. Because at some point, one of these girls had dated this person or considered it, had spent quite a bit of time with this person. It was somebody of their past, and they wanted the relationship back, or else the girls would no longer exist. They wanted their queen. Whew. The Emperor and the Empress. This person saw either Rachel or Renee as their twin flame, as their soulmate, as their person. I know a lot of people have thought over the years that it was Rachel's husband involved. I've had that thought myself a few times. But after doing this reading now, no. This was somebody's ex. This was either one of four. An ex of Rachel, an ex of Rachel's husband, an ex of Renee, an ex of Renee's boyfriend. Yeah. This is all about jealousy. Unrequited love. Wanting to stop things so that it can return to how it was. at least in their mind. Okay? Spirit, please clarify the Emperor, the Ace of Swords in reverse, the Six of Cups, and the Empress. Most likely this is a male energy. Not guaranteed. It absolutely can be a female energy, but most likely it is a male. It very well can be an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. King of Cups in reverse is coming out. Yeah, somebody broke up with somebody. Somebody pulled back their cup of love and said, you know what? Yeah, this one's not right for me. I'm going to move on. The Lovers. Yeah, they really did. They saw it as a soulmate situation, a twin flame situation. Investigators, police, family. Did y'all investigate all the exes? Because that's who did this. They were young. This is not somebody you wouldn't expect to see at the mall. Not somebody you wouldn't expect to see offering them an opportunity to go for a ride in their new car, to go down and get some ice cream, to go do this, that, or the other, not knowing they were never going to be able to get out of that vehicle again. We have Temperance in reverse here. Yeah, this is not something that can be healed. Where did you put the girls? Where are the girls? There's been water searches, land searches. Where are the girls? Well, let's find out. Holy Spirit, Spirit God, angels and ancestors, can you please help us? Can you describe where the girls are at? This is like a story on its own, okay? So let's see what we get. We get the Six of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, excuse me, yeah, the Six of Swords, sorry. Six of Swords, Two of Swords in the reverse, the Nine of Cups, the Eight of Cups, the Hermit, and the Wheel of Fortune. Really? So this person really thought they did. They felt that for almost 50 years now. They've done something that outsmarted the police. Six of Pentacles. They wanted to bring balance back to their situation. They were so broken-hearted, so jealous, so out there with their thinking. With the Six of Swords, they wanted to go over to Karma Swords. They wanted to remove any obstacle in their path. So with the Two of Swords in reverse, they removed the obstacles. The obstacle's not there to cause problems or hurt or pain. Once this person, this predator, silences the girls. And that brings them to thinking that, wow, good times are here again. I can now have the love of my life again. Or at least I can live in that fantasy world. This person can't bother me anymore. And I'm not going back to the way things were. Under the cloak of nightness, with my staff at hand, there is an area that was dug up. It was a grave, or a pending grave. And Wheel of Fortune is here too. I'll tell you what that is. That's karmic justice right there. The Spirit is saying karma has dealt with this person, or is dealing with this person. But what I don't hear from Spirit is telling me where this grave is at, that the girls were placed into. Is it a watery grave? Is it a dirt grave? It's very balanced. Flat land. It's a flat surface. It's very balanced. There's not a building there. The tower is in reverse. There's not a building there. It's not a concrete slab. It's dirt. This is not water. This is dirt. The girls were thrown down into this dirt. Like a trench. I see trenches all around this tower. It was cold. As these lives were sacrificed. All for jealousy. You know, Spirit absolutely does not need our help when it comes to dealing with karmic justice. And that's what Spirit keeps telling me here. That Spirit is dealing with the karmic. That this was a karmic situation. That should have never occurred. Are the girls buried in Fort Worth? Spirit, are the girls buried in Fort Worth? Ten of Pentacles in reverse. They're not buried near their homes. They're not buried near those that they love, those who support them. They are a ways away. Are they in Weatherford, Spirit? Are the girls buried in Weatherford? Thank you for all messages forthcoming. What say ye? The Knight of Pentacles in reverse, no. They're not in Weatherford. There's nothing stabilizing the energy for them to be in Weatherford. Spirit, are the girls near the Trinity River? Are the girls near the Trinity River and the flood banks that have been so outrageous back in the 70s? We have the Three of Pentacles, and from the Three to the Two of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles, once again, they're not near a building. They're not near concrete. They're on land. But it's being exposed. Erosion is occurring at a steady rate. Spirit, please clarify the Three of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles regarding the Fort Worth missing trio. Thank you for all messages forthcoming. What say ye? Eight of Pentacles in reverse and the King of Swords in reverse. Okay. So, this person did not put that much effort into wanting to hide the girls. The fact that they haven't been found is more of a fluke. Not that this person did anything amazing to hide them from investigators. It was kind of like the luck of the draw that they got away with this for this long. Spirit, I want to know something. Is this person still alive that harmed the girls? Is this person still breathing on this earth that harmed these girls? Knight of Swords in reverse. No. Spirit is saying no, they're not. They can no longer speak their truth. They can no longer speak their lies. They can no longer give the information that's needed to bring closure. And that is clarified by the Ten of Cups in reverse, leaving the families feeling distraught and lost without Rachel, without Renee, and without Julie. And it's been almost 50 years. This person, most likely, was between 16 and 25 at the time that this occurred. These girls did not desert each other. In their time of need, they stood by one another, trying to protect one another. I do believe they are somewhere along the Trinity River. And considering how the landscape has changed so significantly over the years, they absolutely could be underwater now. And with the deterioration of remains over 50 years, most likely no evidence remains, and it would be near impossible to locate any of the remains. Did this person ever tell anybody else what they had done to these girls? Is there another person out there that knows the truth? Queen of Swords in reverse, they're saying, Spirit says there was a person that they told. But that person is no longer available either. That person's not on this earth either. Now, can it be that this person is on the earth and their memory is gone? Yes. They can't speak their truth. They cannot come forth with the information that will bring closure and a solution to this situation. Will law enforcement and investigators find out who harmed the Fort Worth missing trio spirit? They know. Really? Really, guys? Y'all do know who it is? Ace of Cups is in reverse. That new beginning in love. That new opportunity to bring justice to this horrific situation. Unable to close the deal because the girls have never been located. No DNA available. No evidence available. But knowing who it was. Did this person harm any other people besides these three beautiful girls? Did this person attack any other people at any point in their lives? I'm just throwing cards now. Let's try that again. Did this person ever get prosecuted for attacking other people in their lives during their lifetime? Thank you for all messages forthcoming. What say ye? Two Pentacles. Really? So, this person, after hurting these girls, after disposing of these girls, chose a life destined to give the persona that they were amazing. They separated themselves completely from energies that were negative, not to bring attention to themselves. Spirit is telling me a clergy member, a pastor, a teacher, a mentor, somebody who took a leadership role. Please clarify that to a one, Spirit. Yeah. Whew. They want it to be the end-all be-all. Since they could never be the end-all be-all in Rachel or Renee's life, pretty much they were saying, I'll show you how amazing I could have been if you'd have just given me the opportunity. So they made a commitment to be some type of a mentor, to guide those in need, whether they were young people, criminals, people down on their luck. Alright, let's see what your romance card is for those invested in this reading, alright? This is very intense reading about the trio. That's been missing for so very long. Children, yes, this does have to do with children, young, a young child and 2 teenagers. But it also has to do with young minds that this person was influencing. Your love life is being affected by children. I would not be surprised if this person had not at some point molested some children, assaulted children. Somebody he thought that could not be believed. Yeah, this person was really about a healthy lifestyle. Archangel Raphael, eat a healthful diet, get adequate sleep, and exercise regularly for optimal health. A lot of times whenever somebody does something to this level, they fade into the woodwork. This person did not. This person wanted to be rather prominent in the society. Not in the investigation, but in the community. They want it to be important. They want it to be revered. Okay? So you know who that is. If you're close to this case, you know which one of the exes that was. And like I said, I've read about this case off and on for 20 plus years. And many a times I absolutely thought it was Rachel's husband. But with the reading today, no, I don't believe that anymore. I do believe what Spirit is guiding, that this is an ex. This is an ex of Renee. Buttercup, hi. Did you come to join us? An ex of Renee or ex of Rachel. Okay? And it was somebody filled with jealousy and rage that they were not receiving the attention that they wanted from them. And as I said, whenever, after this occurrence, after this horrifying kidnapping, this horrifying abduction, this person then decided they were going to be the end-all be-all community leader and community mentor. Hey, Butterbutt. Butterbutt? That's my Butterbutt. It's a good girl. Alright, since we have our intuitive cat here now, the card of advice from Spirit, Spirit Guide, Angels, and Ancestors, and the 3 girls, to everyone invested in this reading, is the Hungry Ghost. Obsession, scarcity, consciousness, and attachment. And this is all about attachment and unhealthy attachments at that. And that's really what this was all about. Okay? Butterbutt, move. I know her name's Buttercup, but her new name's Butterbutt. Alright, Hungry Ghost. When the Hungry Ghost appears on your path, they may not at first seem like allies because they represent your constant focus on the path. and the consuming desire to know the future, which rob you of your true present. But in fact, they're here in the service of alerting you to obsessive thinking and addictions. They're masters at magnifying repetitive behaviors. The message is for you to examine whether you're doing the same thing over and over while expecting a different result. This time will be different, and I have control over this, are false statements and a sign of deep denial of the truth. Now it's the time to let go of that thinking. Surrender your will, your life, your heart's desire, and all that pains you to the divine. Order will be restored in your world. The hungry ghosts are being understanding about the distractions of life that seduce you into forgetting what you really desire. They're asking you to become aware that what others want and what the culture dictates will make you happy may not be what's best for you. Don't get caught up in outside appearances. All that glitters may not be gold, at least not for you. Look beyond the veneer and you will find the true substance in your life. You deserve nothing less. And I know this has to do with over-attachments, which resulted in the demise of the girls. That's why the girls were coming through as part of the ones delivering this card of advice. Watch your attachments. What are you attached to? Why are you attached to it? Is it healthy? Is it in your highest good? Now, I'm going to go ahead and ask Spirit for an affirmation card for you. But let's see if we can get Butterbutt down. I know. You're a good girl and I love you. Thank you. Alright, let's get you an affirmation card for this reading. For everyone invested. Family, friends, subscribers, those who are passing by, law enforcement, and investigators. And I know the girls felt this way on December 23rd, 1974. Today, I am brave. Today, I will step up to every challenge with courage. And they did. They did not desert one another that day. I promise you that. They stood by each other and supported one another through the dramatic experiences. Not just dramatic, it was traumatic, resulting in their injuries and ultimately in their devastation. So, I got one more question. You know I got questions, right? I always have questions. Spirit, will there be closure for the families and friends of the missing Fort Worth trio? 5 of Wands. Very difficult time. Some will find a way to deal with it better over the years. Some will not. The unfortunate part of this person not facing justice and not being able to have all the evidence to absolutely say this person did it without any shadow of a doubt is what is still going to weigh on their minds. And that's very unfortunate. I send you all my love and light. And I sincerely hope that there's comfort in your energy. Namaste.